All right. Um, Here we are with a quick report on our Dads in Recovery event yesterday. Wow, it it went so well. It really did. It's funny. I was talking to Pat Campbell, who's the pastor at the Center for Spiritual Living. The and today she said you were so freaked about it, and I was such a kind of a bit of a drama queen sometimes. I was so concerned that it was you know how it would go. I really was nervous about it, and my God, it went so well. It went so well. The men were fabulous and open and willing and honestly wanting to look at themselves. It was just so good. It was so good. We covered, just I mean, we don't get a fucking manual in this dad business, and many of us, because we're dads in recovery. Many of us had children when we were actively in addiction, so we were unable to manage our own lives for the most part, and we bullshitters. We had probably sold some poor lady that on the idea that we could take care of things, and we way oversold, and we talked about that yesterday. That often we were in a jam, and we didn't know who to ask. And how do I do this job? For God's sakes, we didn't know how to be in a relationship with a woman, let alone be loving dads. We wanted to be, of course. We fell in love with our children, all of us, and yet somewhat incapable in many ways to be the loving dad we wanted to be. And that came out yesterday. It was beautiful. It really was, and it's the beginning. It's this is the men want to do more. There's so many topics we could have covered. The day went by like so fast. But we talked about some good stuff. We talked about our relationship with the mother of our child. And how it is and how we'd like it to be, and we talked about our relationship with our own dads and how important that is, that whether they're dead or alive, or whether how do we look at them differently, because many of us were you know not clear in that area. I mean, I shared with the fact that I'd spent my whole life wanting my dad's approval. And so it was good. We went deep. It flew by. Every man participated. And you know what? It's kind of impossible to measure the benefits, but we get to see ourselves in each other's sharing. And, you know, and I think that every man would come out of there in some way being a more loving, more available dad, and more understanding, not just understanding of our children, but understanding of their moms. It's all part. We're in this together, right? We're in this together. This is, and we realize that fatherless homes are bad news. It really is. It's bad news, and men know that, so. And so it doesn't. We also realized and talked about that it doesn't matter how old our kids are today; they still need us. And because dads, there was dads there that have older children, and the grandpas, there were grandpas there, not just me. Anyway, it went really, really well. So we're going to do it again in June, June the 7th. Mark it on your calendar. And also, I'm available to do what I call Dads in Recovery 911. If the shit's hitting the fan, call me, and we'll work something out. Um, you know, so yeah, Dad's in Recovery 911, and we're going to start an online community so that we can connect and stay together. We have a private Facebook page. So as you go through one of these with me, I'm going to do an online course as well, and I'll talk more about that. But you go through these with me, you become part of this online community, and we're going to do some shit together. whether it's, stuff where we bring our kids, you know, yeah, where there's just dad and the kids at events with other dads. Men were like blown away. They've never had feedback from other dads because we've never had a venue to kind of talk about it. And so I'm pleased. I'm grateful. Thank God. Thank the men for the courage, honesty, and the men that couldn't make it. I love you. We're going to do it again in June, and I want you to be there. That's it. Love you so much. It was. I'm just so pleased, and also it's a bit funny, that how kind of how afraid I was that that, and it just not everything happened to my plan. As a matter of fact, we went off on, we kind of followed the context, which was that we were there for each other, men looking after each other and building a community, and it all unfolded beautifully, better than I could have planned it. So I'm grateful for that. I just kind of got out of the road in some cases, and yeah, and my son was there. He's a dad in recovery, and that was great. I think the men were just really loved that we were in the circle together. I sure loved it. I was very grateful, and yeah, my good friend Barry, who isn't he's a dad but not in recovery, was there and helped with production, made sure the food was ready, and we fed everybody, and yeah, it went really well. Could have taken more pictures, but next time. Okay, love you guys. Share this and make a comment. Tell me what you think of this whole idea of supporting men and becoming, the dad that they want to be, giving them a kind of, us all a venue or a format or a model to share with each other. That's the plan. Okay. Cheers. Love you lots.